What you're trying to do, of course, is encourage your body to take the calories that you would have eaten at breakfast and lunch and eat your own body fat. You've got to burn fat. There's no other choice for your body. Generally, the longer you go, the less often you do it. You're not going to do it every day. Week-long cruise that I just had, but I made up for it with the fasting, and now I'm back to normal. Hey, what's better than that? The regular fasting period is about 14 hours. So that's enough to sort of keep you in balance, but not that powerful. So if you finish dinner at 7 and eat breakfast at 9, that's a 14-hour fast, right? And that's what everybody used to do in the 70s, which is enough to keep you a stable weight, but not really very powerful for weight loss. You can push that a little to 16.8, and some people do extraordinarily well with that. People who have more stubborn weight loss and stuff find that they have to go out to sort of 24 hours. So 24 hours is sort of a 1 meal a day. And the idea is you're eating 1 meal. Suppose you eat dinner once a day. So you're dropping breakfast, dropping lunch. The idea is not to eat a huge dinner, because you're not trying to take your breakfast, lunch, and dinner and eat it at all one sitting. That's not the point. The point is to eat a normal dinner and then drop breakfast and lunch. And what you're trying to do, of course, is encourage your body to take the calories that you would have eaten at breakfast and lunch and eat your own body fat, because that's just stored calories as well. So you're going to take that and then eat normally at dinner time and then go on to the next day. So that's a 24-hour fast, so 1 meal a day. And that can be done, it can be done sort of most days of the week if you want it. You can then go further. You can do the full day, which is like nothing for the full day until, so that's like a 36-hour fast. Because if you eat dinner tonight and then skip the whole next day and then don't eat until breakfast the morning after, you're talking somewhere around 36 to 40 hours, depending on what time you eat breakfast and dinner. So that's, again, more powerful because, again, if you think about it, you're getting over that period of, if you go to 36 hours, you make sure you're getting that full period of autophagy, which is probably around 18 to 24 hours. But then you're getting into that fat burning mode. Once you get there, if you continue that fast into a longer fast, like we're doing this 5-day reset right now, and again, keep in mind that you don't have to do a full 0 calories, right? You can still do a little, which will sort of, it'll slow down your benefits, but it'll make it a lot easier. Then what you're doing is you're trying to stay in that fat burning mode, because you tried to eat, burn off all the sugar. You've gone through there, you've gone through the gluconeogenesis. Now you're in that fat burning stage, and you want to try and stay there for a few days to sort of maximize it. Because if you think about it, every day that you stay in that sort of longer fast, you've got to burn fat. There's no other choice for your body. You don't have any more of the glucose, the glycogen that you've stored away, unless you're diabetic, in which case your sugars will continue to fuel it. But it's good, because if you have excess sugar, you're going to burn it down. You've gone through that gluconeogenesis, so you're in the protein sparing mode, and then you're in the fat burning mode. So if you're in that fat burning mode, that's when you're going to want to stay there if that's your goal. So any of those can work. So 16, 24, 36, or multiple days. Generally, the longer you go, the less often you do it. You're not going to do it every day. So it really depends on what people like. Some people really love the long fast, and some people think it's just terrible. I actually do both. So I'll do sort of 16 to 24 hours on most days. And then on every so often, usually like after a holiday or something where, usually you're eating too much and too much of the wrong foods, as everybody does. But I don't feel guilty about it, because I know that I will be doing some fasting so that I'll be able to make up for it. Yes, I'll have stored a little bit too much of the fat and too much of the sugar, and now I'm going to burn it off. Well, after a week, after like 5 days, I'm back to normal. My pants fit normally, my weight's the same, my sugars are the same. So hey, not only did I enjoy that week-long cruise that I just had, but I made up for it with the fasting, and now I'm back to normal. Hey, what's better than that? Why feel guilty about your cruise that you take for the next 3 months because, hey, your pants don't fit properly? Why don't you just get rid of it, right? Now, I find it relatively easy to do. Maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while. Not everybody finds it easy, so they'll want to do the shorter ones. So I can't tell you what the best one to do for any particular person is, because we're all different. We're all different people. We all have different needs. So that's why, a community like ours is the fasting method is quite powerful, because there's different people, and people will chime up and they'll say, you should try this. You should try this. I have a great recipe for this. Oh, I have this, right? And then you'll be able to find something that helps you, because not everything is useful for everybody. And that's okay. And that's where people go off the rails. Like, some people are like, if you're vegan, that's you have to do vegan. Like, you might do well on veganism, or you might not. I don't know. Nobody knows. Everybody reacts differently. So you got to try it and do it and see.
I want to ask about what to have during a fast. Because I don't think that many people love to have absolutely nothing. They like to have something. Now, you did mention that you can have fat during a fast. How much fat can you have, and what are the best fats to have?
In terms of fat, the best ones would be natural fat. So any fat that sort of exists in nature is going to be useful. Your body's going to handle it fairly well. So butter is a natural fat, coconut oil is a natural fat, avocados are a natural fat, bacon is a natural fat, actually, even though there's some protein in there too. But the fats, the reason is that you're trying to lower insulin, and fats don't lower insulin much. Now, it doesn't mean you can eat unlimited fat, because if you're eating fat, you're going to store fat, and therefore you're going to have to burn that off. So you are going to slow down your weight loss. But on the other hand, if you can get 80% of the benefit, but it makes it 50% easier, hey, that's a pretty good trade-off. So a little bit of cream in your coffee is fine. Bone broth is another thing that a lot of people use. Again, it's not a full sort of 0-calorie fat. There's a bit of protein, there's a bit of fat there, but the key is also you're able to add some salt, because some people, they get a bit salt depleted during fasting, especially the longer ones. It's odd to put salt in water and drink it, although some people do. Some people really love pickle juice too, which has a lot of electrolytes and stuff. But if you use bone broth, you're going to get a lot of those electrolytes that your body still wants, and the salt that your body still wants, without being it strange. Like, not strange, but it's not everybody's sort of favorite thing to drink pickle juice or salt and water, which some people do, and they do very successfully. So bone broth is another one. Teas are very, very good. So teas and coffees are very, very good. So green teas and coffee are very good, because green tea, for example, does have some natural effect to blunt hunger, and so does caffeine. And they also both have a bit of caffeine to sort of rev up your metabolic rate too, right? So we all know that caffeine is a natural stimulant. Tea is a little bit better, I think. It's not as much a stimulant, but the caffeine is released sort of more gradually, as opposed to a big spike. Like, as a coffee drinker, you love that big spike, but sometimes the tea is a little bit more gentle, and it's a little less too. But there's other ones. There's catechins in green tea, which also blunt the hunger as well. So these are very useful to use during fasting. And as I said, if you do take a little bit of food, mostly sort of vegetables and fats is what we generally have, because you still want to keep your insulin relatively low. You don't want to sort of flip yourself into the fat storing mode. Well, that's usually enough to sort of blunt the hunger of the fast and still allow you to continue. And that's where the trade-off is very, very beneficial, because it's a little bit less stressful on the body as well.